Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, stew or die. The Oilers starting Skinner in a must-win game of the Stanley Cup Final. Hazardous materials, how students and staff at an Edmonton school may have been exposed to asbestos. And filling the voids, advanced voting begins in 2 Edmonton by-elections.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The Edmonton Oilers are fighting for their playoff lives tonight, trying to continue their quest for the Stanley Cup. The Florida Panthers lead the best-of-7 series 3-2. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us live from Ice District this evening. So, Evan, what are the Oilers players saying they need to do in order to push this thing to a Game 7?
Well, Matt, the team knows that they must have a better start tonight. Edmonton has allowed at least 2 goals in the first period of every game so far in these finals. And along with a better start, the team says they need to play better, period. According to NHL stats, Edmonton has led for just over 30 minutes of the series, compared to more than 200 minutes for the Panthers. That starts with Stuart Skinner, who is back between the pipes tonight. He is 7-6 in these playoffs with a 2.99 goals against average and an .891 save percentage. His last appearance was in Game 4 when Florida scored 3 goals in the first period. Now, Skinner says it took a couple days to shake that performance off, but now he says he has 100% of the team's confidence behind him, and he's ready for the challenge.
It's just back to work, you know. There's not much time in this league, especially in the finals, to soak on it and feel bad for yourself. So you just got to go back on the ice the next day and start working on your game again.
Forward Kasperi Kapanen and defenseman John Klingberg are returning to the lineup, replacing Troy Stecher and Victor Arvidsson. Now, 8 teams in NHL history have won Game 6 and forced a Game 7 and have gone on to lift Lord Stanley. The Oilers hope that they'll be number 9 coming up here soon. Matt?
All right, time will tell. Evan Kenny live in Ice District tonight. Thank you. Inspired during last year's playoffs by Mama Stanley, seniors living at a St. Albert retirement residence decided they needed their own version.
First of all, I thought they were kidding me, and secondly, I thought I was nuts to do it, but it's fun.
It only took about 15 minutes for Ed Wilkins to transform with a sparkly silver top and skirt, cup hat, and face paint. He's now known around the residence as Papa Stanley and has been featured in some of their Oilers game day videos. The group hopes he can help bring the team a little luck tonight.
I certainly hope it does. It's helped my notoriety.
If there's any part of the game that's not going very well, seeing that outfit will make everybody happy.
As much fun as the seniors are having with their own Stanley Cup, they're hopeful the Oilers can bring home the real thing. Students and staff at a high school in Edmonton may have been exposed to asbestos. Jasper Place High School sent a letter to parents yesterday warning some students may have been exposed to the hazardous material. The letter says in mid-March, a wall was taken down in the boys' football locker room by someone who is not a staff member at the school. The school board says demolition was never authorized and no protective measures were taken. The board says the building materials later tested positive for low levels of asbestos. A local company that deals with asbestos says the real concern isn't the levels, it's how much of that becomes airborne.
In this scenario where a wall was demolished, the asbestos is in the joint compound. So when you demolish that wall, all that dust is becoming airborne and you're breathing that in. If they're inhaled into your lungs, those fibers, if you look at them under a microscope, they almost have little barbs on them. And once they attach into your lung tissue, they're almost never going to leave.
Mo Barzagar says asbestos affects everyone differently and it could damage your lungs for life. The school letter says students and staff who helped clean up after the wall was knocked down may have been exposed and have been notified. The board says the area has since been properly cleaned and the school's air quality tested safe. The school says it's still investigating who's responsible for knocking down that wall in the first place. A crash involving at least 2 vehicles on White Mud Drive and 111th Street is causing major traffic delays. Police say eastbound traffic is being rerouted at 122nd Street. At the scene, a semi is up a hill on the side of the road. There's also a heavily damaged white van behind it and what appears to be a covered body lying on the grass between 2 vehicles. The EPS Major Collisions Unit is on scene. Police have not released any other details about the crash. Advanced voting opened today for 3 Alberta by-elections. 2 of those are here in Edmonton. Nearly 1 year ago, Naheed Nenshi was chosen to lead the Alberta NDP. He now finally has a chance to become a sitting MLA in Edmonton Strathcona. The Edmonton Ellerslie riding, though, is expected to be a much tighter race. CTV's Nicole Weisberg has more.
Voters trickle into a polling station in southeast Edmonton. Staff here say about 10 people came through in the first couple hours of opening. Why do you think it's important to come out to vote?
Time to get stuff done.
Because the next generation is coming and they need our vote now so that we can go and make sure that they have a future.
In Edmonton Strathcona, NDP leader Naheed Nenshi is expected to cruise to victory. The riding has a long history of voting orange.
So I fully expect Naheed Nenshi to win in Edmonton Strathcona. What will be very interesting there, Nicole, is by how much he wins by. Because the Conservative candidate in Edmonton Strathcona is running a very strong, spirited campaign.
For political watcher John Brennan, Edmonton Ellerslie is much harder to call. Rod Loyola was an NDP MLA here for a decade. He stepped down to run federally and lost. Now a former progressive Conservative MLA is back running for the UCP, and a media personality in the South Asian community is running for the NDP.
The reason I think it's going to be a lot closer is we've had several polls out just in the last 3 or 4 weeks measuring public opinion in Alberta and in Edmonton. You know, the UCP continues to poll well province-wide.
People are getting to be big fans of Danielle Smith.
Thanks in part to the Premier's popularity and his own public profile, Naresh Bhardwaj says he's confident in his campaign.
When you're at the doors, there's a mood for change.
Gurtej Brar also says he's confident, promising to bring back NDP policies to make life more affordable.
When it comes to utility bills, when it comes to insurance, we capped that. So people recognizing that thing, and we proved it, and we will do it again.
Advance polls run until Saturday. The by-election is Monday. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
City councillors are once again debating infill, this time what should be allowed in the middle of a block. Under the new zoning bylaw that took effect at the start of last year, every residential lot in Edmonton allows up to 8 units to be built by default. Now, council is preparing to discuss tweaks to that bylaw that includes reducing the default to 6 units for properties that are not on corners. Advocates say the change would help people in mature neighborhoods adapt to the pace of new infill.
People are alarmed, and they're anxious, and they're angry. And I think that communities need an opportunity, residents of communities need an opportunity to sort of adjust to the pace of change.
The building envelope remains the same, whether you build a single-family home, or duplex, or fourplex, or row housing.
City data shows there has been a spike in multi-unit housing permits since the new bylaw took effect. Most of that development is happening in mature neighborhoods. Council will debate this and other proposed changes at a public hearing on June 30th. Josh, a pretty beautiful day out there. Lots of sunshine, although it looks like we could potentially have a storm on the way here soon.
Yeah, we're now under a severe thunderstorm watch here in the city of Edmonton. Again, that just means the potential for some severe storms to move into the area. It's basically the entire southern half of the province in yellow. Here in this red zone, that's where you have a severe thunderstorm warning. There are severe thunderstorms in through that area. Not so much at the west end of this, but from around Drayton Valley, southeast towards Rimbey. And then there's one sort of stationary line here just west of the QE2. That's not going to affect the Edmonton area. That's really not going to move north. It's just going to kind of rain itself out, and probably got some hail coming off of that. It would be this line here, which would be, if it maintains its current progression, it'd be about 7:30, 8 p.m. for downtown Edmonton. The other thing we'll have to keep an eye on, you had some showers and thunderstorms here off to the northwest, and you see that line right there. Watch out, this is not precipitation. That's some dust being kicked up there. You get a gust front off to the northwest of the Edmonton area. I think it probably weakens before it hits the city, but If it does maintain its strength all the way down to northwest corner of Edmonton and Highway 16, then you're looking at somewhere around 6 p.m. for that gust front. So we'll continue to watch that here over the course of the next half hour or so and update you on that. As for right now, I mean, this is what it looks like outside with the CTV drone. There are some clouds. That's looking to the southwest. You can see those storms building up to the southwest of the city. Nothing imminent for Edmonton, but it does look like after a 24-degree day, things could get a little stormy through this evening. And then you also have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. 24, your daytime high today, and your current temperature will drop tomorrow to about 22 for a daytime high. And as we said, not only tonight, that chance of showers and thunderstorms, but potentially tomorrow as well. Take a closer look at all that in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, AI exploitation, a warning from police about kids harming other kids using images generated online.
It's being used to bully or harass or extort, and that's the concern.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
As artificial intelligence evolves, police are warning kids and teens about new methods of exploitation. As CTV's Connor Hogg reports, it's young people who are harming each other.
TikTok and stuff like that, you can see these AI videos like super real.
Students say AI plays a big part in their everyday lives. It can be used as a study tool. It can also be used to create difficult to discern deepfakes.
Everyone's like images going around, like you can get someone's like image like super like fast off the internet.
I actually just almost had a scam not too long ago, and it was someone trying to be a friend.
I just think that a lot of like the negative things aren't really being highlighted as much for sure.
Police say the technology can be used to benefit and to harm. According to Alert's Internet Child Exploitation Unit, AI is already being used to exploit young people, in most cases, by their peers.
What we're finding is that AI is being used to create nude images of other children and used as kind of this new form of cyberbullying.
Constable Stephanie Bosch says it can happen on any app, and the embarrassment AI images can cause is significant. Shame prevents victims from coming forward.
Children will more often fear their social death than their actual physical death. Kids may not have taken a nude image of themselves, but what's happening is it's being created, right? And it's being used to bully or harass or extort.
Students say they're wary about what they post and try to limit who can see it.
Personally, me, I just like make my account private. Don't post too much pictures like publicly online.
Like keeping the things you share online to a minimum amount of people.
Bosch says parents need to be open to having difficult conversations with their kids.
Kids are exploring their sexuality online. There's nothing inherently bad with that. It just comes with its own set of risks that we have to discuss.
While the majority of ICE's work happens behind the scenes, in this case, Bosch says the public can have a direct impact.
If we're discounting their lives online, we're creating those barriers, inadvertently even, and it makes it hard for them to talk about it.
Prevention through conversation. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
The provincial government is spending $50 million to entice industry leaders to come up with a solution for tailings ponds. The goal of the Tailings Technology Challenge is to encourage tech innovations or natural solutions to clean up tailings ponds and oil sands mine water. Tailings are a mix of water, sand, chemicals, and bitumen that cause environmental damage when left untouched. Government leaders hope a funding challenge will result in quick action to address tailings ponds.
But it really does help to kickstart some of that new technology. A lot of the work Emissions Reduction Alberta does is taking new technology and encouraging it to get to scale and adoption. And so we're pretty excited to see what might come out of this.
The money for the challenge is coming from the industry-funded Technology Innovation and Emissions Reduction Regulation Fund. The challenge closes on September 24th. Leaders of the G7 have agreed to cooperate on their efforts to manage the impacts of devastating wildfires. The Kananaskis Wildfire Charter outlines steps that all G7 countries and 5 non-G7 members intend to take on wildfire prevention, research collaboration, and community rebuilding efforts. During last year's summit, leaders agreed to prevent and manage the negative impacts of wildfires, but did not outline specific plans. The declaration comes as Canada battles yet another devastating wildfire season. Here in Alberta, there are 57 wildfires currently burning. 22 are classified as out of control. Still to come tonight on CTV News, Forces at Work, how the province plans to help veterans and first responders transition to new careers.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Oilers fans come from all over, including Helen E. Taylor School in Wembley, Alberta. These students from grades 4 through 9 learn La Bamba on instruments like xylophones and shakers. They were helped out by some of the teachers for this performance. Proud principal Cindy Young sent us this video. She says it took the students about 2 weeks to learn the song.
Quick learners.
Wembley, Alberta, or a beach on Jamaica, Josh? It's a good thing they had the name of the school in the script there. As soon as I hear that music, all I can think about is headed to the Caribbean.
You just need some steel drums.
Yeah, that's what you need. Kind of a similar sound there, yeah.
Take a look outside right now. It's the River Valley Sky Cam brought to you by Action Furnace. Action Furnace fixed right, it's free. 24 degrees, and it looks just spectacular out there. That's probably going to change before the evening is done. 22 in Red Deer, 25 in Jasper, right around 20 in Cold Lake and Fort McMurray through this afternoon. There's your severe thunderstorm watch for all the areas in yellow. Highway 16 all the way south. That includes the city of Edmonton, areas off to the southeast. This warning, as we pointed out earlier, the western edge was never really under threat. The storm's already kind of passed by that. So this is all that's left right now. And that storm right there is just southwest of Pigeon Lake, and it does look like it's probably producing some sizable hail. The warning has ended for this line of storms from Drayton Valley down through Rimbey, although there is still some pretty good lightning coming off of that and some pouring rain. Lots of thunderstorm activity across northeastern Alberta as well. That's of no threat to us here in Edmonton. This will just continue, and it's not going to turn severe. This will just continue to slide off to the east-southeast. It's this line of storms coming off the foothills that we're keeping a close eye on. So again, if these were to remain at the speed they're moving right now, it hit downtown somewhere around 7:30, 8 p.m. tonight. So keep an eye on that situation. This line of severe storms, though, that's just going to have to rain itself out. It's not actually moving all that much. And there's your gust front. It does look like the eastern edge of this is starting to weaken a little bit, so I think less of a risk for Edmonton, although Onway's probably getting some really strong wind gusts, and areas west of the city could see some pretty gusty conditions as that drops to the south towards Stony Plain in the next hour or so. Showers and thunderstorms fizzling out across the northeast. There's your risk through this evening for some showers and thunderstorms in the Edmonton area. And then overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning, you might see a few hit and miss showers in the Edmonton area. Can't even rule out a few overnight thunderstorms. Cloudy skies to start the day. You notice it's no big system that's going to pour rain on us, but there might be a few scattered showers lingering through the morning. The best chance is going to be late in the day. And again, through this area here, you get a chance of some of these storms turning severe for tomorrow. Some really strong wind gusts and potentially some sizable hail. So again, tomorrow you're probably going to be looking at some severe thunderstorm watches and warnings late in the day. 8 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 5 in Jasper. We'll get down to about 13 here in Edmonton. Low 20s across the northeast. And after a couple of stormy afternoons yesterday and today, should be a quieter day tomorrow. It's northwestern Alberta that you have a good chance of some thunderstorms. And then through the Red Deer region, Lloydminster, Coronation as well, late in the day tomorrow. Chance of some showers and thunderstorms. So we get a risk of a shower or thunderstorm early to mid this evening. And then again, overnight or early tomorrow morning could see a shower. Most of tomorrow looks okay. Just a mix of sun and cloud. We'll get to about 22 for a daytime high, and then late in the day, chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Steadier rain in the forecast and a cooler day on Thursday with a high of 16, but back to some sunshine for the start of summer on Friday and a high of 20, mid to upper teens Saturday, Sunday.
Josh, thank you. The Alberta government is promising to help former military members and first responders find meaningful careers afterwards. The province is spending $1.2 million on the Forces at Work program. It helps veterans and first responders overcome physical, psychological, and emotional barriers to transition to a second career. Social Services Minister Jason Nixon says it has successfully helped 1,300 people find new careers since 2011. The money is expected to support another 1,000.
If we don't invest in that area, the reality is that we will continue to see income supports have to go up. Individuals then living on income supports that can't afford to be able to meet their day-to-day needs. Taxpayers having to continue to pay into that area to care for people.
Prospect Human Services runs the program. It says it has a 70% success rate of getting people employed. Hockey fans are pouring into Ice District to catch Game 6 between the Oilers and Panthers. The opening face-off is in less than an hour. We'll have more from the Moss Pit next.
Programming brought to you by K-Days. The 10 best days of summer are back.
Coming up tonight on CTV News at 6, another Edmonton City Councillor announces a bid for re-election this fall. Plus, why one city councillor is changing his tune when it comes to building infill homes in Edmonton. Those stories and much more tonight on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. The Tea Party is part of a Canadian rock tour coming to Rogers Place. The band will be joined by the Headstones and Finger 11. It's the first time these bands have come together for a concert. The show in Edmonton is November 28th. Tickets go on sale this Friday. Well, a different kind of action at Rogers Place tonight, where fans are pouring into Ice District to catch Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final at various watch parties, including Fan Park, inside Rogers Place, and, of course, the Moss Pit. And that's where we find CTV's Evan Kenny this evening. Evan, I believe you're with a fan who looks like he's ready to bring the cup home to Edmonton.
You're right, Matt. Today, you got Evan here, but we also have Kevin here all the way down from Fort McMurray. Kevin, what brings you down here to celebrate the Oilers at the Moss Pit?
I just love being here with all the fellow fans. The excitement, the energy around here is unbelievable.
Now, Kevin, just off camera, you were telling me that you did this all playoffs long. You did this all last year. What do you hope comes from this run and comes from this game tonight?
I'm hoping they're going to bring it tied up and bring Game 7 back to Alberta, because we need a cup. It's time for Canada.
Yeah, what would that mean to you, Kevin?
Oh, it would mean the world. Mean the world.
All right, it would mean the world to Kevin. It would mean the world to myself and many, many Edmontonians out there. We'll see what happens here tonight. Matt?
All right, we're hoping they push it to Game 7. Evan Kenny live in the Moss Pit tonight. Thank you very much. Well, that's our show for this Tuesday evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. I'll be back here tomorrow night, same time, same place. I hope you are too. CTV National News is next.